The Prestige is a story about obsession, disguised as a story about magic, and it unfolds the same way a great illusion does, slowly, deliberately, hiding its truth in plain sight until the very end. From the opening moments, the film warns you that what you're seeing is not the whole picture, that every trick has a pledge, a turn, and a prestige. But even with that warning, the story still manages to mislead, distract, and ultimately astonish. The narrative opens at what seems like the end. A celebrated magician named Robert Angier performs his most ambitious illusion before a packed audience. He invites people to inspect the strange electrical machine on stage, assuring them there is no deception. Among those volunteers is Alfred Borden, a rival magician. As Angier steps into the device, blinding flashes of light fill the theater. In the confusion, Angier vanishes. Beneath the stage, unseen by the crowd, his body crashes into a concealed water tank. He struggles, pounding on the glass, desperately calling for help. Borden is there, just feet away, but by the time he tries to intervene, Angier drowns. To the audience, it looks like a miraculous disappearance. To the authorities, it looks like murder. The story then rewinds and splinters into memories, diaries, and competing versions of the truth. Borden is arrested and placed on trial, accused of sabotaging Angier's act. Cutter, the engineer who designs illusions for both men at different points, testifies about the mechanics of the trick. He explains that the water tank was once used safely as part of Angier's earlier performances, but insists it had been removed. The prosecution argues that Borden secretly reinstalled it. When the judge demands a full explanation of Angier's greatest illusion, Cutter refuses, saying that revealing the secret would destroy the value of the act itself. The court convicts Borden anyway, sentencing him to death. While imprisoned, Borden is approached by a lawyer representing a wealthy aristocrat named Lord Caldlow, who wishes to purchase the secret behind Borden's famous transported man illusion. The offer is cruelly calculated. If Borden cooperates, Caldlow will ensure that Borden's young daughter is raised in comfort. If he refuses, the child will be taken away by the courts. As a gesture of goodwill, the lawyer leaves behind Angier's diary. What follows is a long descent into the past. Years earlier, Angier and Borden were not enemies, but colleagues, assistants working for a stage magician who specialized in escape acts involving water tanks. Angier was married to Julia, who served as the magician's assistant. During one performance, a disagreement over which knot to use to bind her wrists turns fatal. Julia is dropped into the tank, unable to free herself. By the time the glass is smashed open, she is drowned. Angier is shattered by grief, and his relationship with Borden is poisoned forever. Borden claims he doesn't remember which knot he tied, a detail that enrages Angier and becomes the seed of their lifelong feud. As Angier struggles with loss, Borden moves forward with ruthless focus. He meets Sarah, a woman drawn to his intensity and mystery. Their relationship is strange from the start. Borden is secretive, emotionally inconsistent, sometimes affectionate and sometimes cold, as if he were two different people. Still, they marry and Sarah becomes pregnant. At the same time, Borden launches his own magic career, performing dangerous and confrontational tricks that blur the line between illusion and real risk. One such act goes wrong when Angier, disguised as an audience member, sabotages it, leading to Borden being shot in the hand and losing 2 fingers. The rivalry has turned openly violent. Angier, meanwhile, channels his grief into ambition. He teams up with Cutter to build a new act and hires an assistant named Olivia. Though Angier dazzles audiences with smaller illusions, he feels hollow. Applause no longer satisfies him. What he truly wants is to eclipse Borden, to humiliate him publicly, and to reclaim the sense of wonder he believes was stolen from him the night Julia died. Everything changes when Borden unveils his transported man illusion. On stage, he steps into a cabinet on one side of the stage and instantly emerges from another on the opposite side. The effect is instantaneous, clean, and impossible. Angier watches from the crowd, stunned. Cutter insists that the trick must involve a double, but Angier refuses to believe something so simple could feel so powerful. He becomes obsessed with uncovering the method, convinced that Borden has achieved something genuinely extraordinary. To compete, Angier creates his own version of the trick, using a look-alike actor named Gerald Root. The performance works mechanically, but it lacks soul. Angier hides beneath the stage while Root receives the applause. Every cheer feels like an insult. The illusion succeeds, but Angier does not. His resentment deepens, and he sends Olivia to spy on Borden, encouraging her to gain his trust and learn his secret. At the same time, Angier steals Borden's diary, believing it contains the answer he seeks. Instead, it leads him on a journey to Colorado Springs, where Borden claims to have worked with Nikola Tesla. Tesla, portrayed as a brilliant but hunted inventor, is experimenting with revolutionary electrical technology far from the public eye. Angier believes Tesla built a machine capable of accomplishing true teleportation. When Angier finally meets Tesla, he finds not a charlatan, but a man who understands the danger of obsession all too well. Tesla warns Angier to abandon his quest, to return home, and to let go of his fixation. Angier refuses. He has already sacrificed too much. Tesla reluctantly completes the machine. Before its true purpose is revealed, Angier discovers that Tesla's invention does something impossible. It duplicates matter. A simple object placed in the machine doesn't vanish and return, it is copied. Identical hats litter the ground after a test run. A cat emerges with a twin. The machine works, but not in the way Angier expected. By this point, Angier no longer cares about the cost. He brings the machine back to London and builds his ultimate illusion, the real transported man. Each night, he steps into the device and disappears in a storm of electricity, only to reappear elsewhere in the theater. The audience is ecstatic. Borden, watching in horror, realizes that Angier has surpassed him. But beneath the stage, the truth is far darker. Every performance creates a duplicate Angier. One version appears before the audience, the other falls through a trap door into a water tank and drowns. Night after night, Angier kills himself to maintain the illusion, believing the sacrifice is worth it for the moment of awe on the audience's faces. Meanwhile, Borden's personal life collapses. Sarah, tormented by his lies and emotional distance, confronts him, demanding honesty. In a moment of devastating truth, Borden admits that he does not love her completely, not always. Unable to live with the uncertainty, Sarah takes her own life. The loss devastates Borden, though even now he cannot fully explain himself. The story accelerates toward its conclusion. Borden sneaks backstage during Angier's performance and witnesses him drowning. He tries to save him but fails. Cutter arrives too late. Angier is dead, and Borden is arrested once again. This time, the evidence is overwhelming. He is sentenced to hang. In prison, Borden finally learns the truth behind Angier's survival. Lord Cadlow reveals himself to be Angier, alive and triumphant. Using Tesla's machine, Angier has preserved himself while framing Borden for murder. He takes custody of Borden's daughter, viewing it as the final victory in their war. Cutter, horrified by what he has enabled, turns against Angier. As the execution approaches, the final secret is revealed. Borden is not one man, but two identical twin brothers who have lived a single life split in half. One loved Sarah, the other loved Olivia. One lost fingers, the other remained whole. They alternated roles constantly, even allowing one brother to die so the illusion could survive. What Angier thought was genius was actually sacrifice taken to its extreme. On the night Angier believes he has finally won, he is confronted beneath the stage by the surviving Borden twin. A gunshot ends Angier's life for good. Surrounded by tanks containing the drowned bodies of his own duplicates, Angier dies, having achieved everything he wanted and gained nothing. Borden loses his brother, half of himself, but he keeps his daughter. Cutter becomes her guardian, rejecting the legacy of deception he helped create. The story closes where it began, beneath the stage, among the secrets the audience was never meant to see. The prestige is not really about magic tricks, it's about what people are willing to sacrifice for recognition, revenge, and obsession. Some give up love, some give up morality, some give up their very lives, and the greatest illusion of all is not what happens on stage, but how easily we are distracted from the truth, even when it's right in front of us.